Hello friends, I'm so sorry that I've been MIA this week. I've been traveling due to a work conference and had very little time to record. But without further ado, let's get into it. Here are 5 tech updates to get you through Friday. WWDC was this Monday and so much was introduced. Some too long didn't read updates were transcriptions for audio messages. AirDrop can now handle contact support. You don't need Hey to activate Siri anymore. Your iPhone can now be turned into a clock on standby via a MagSafe charger, a brand new 15-inch MacBook Air, and finally a new Mac Pro for the first time in 4 years. Of course, the big reveal was the Apple Vision Pro, a $3,500 AR/VR headset which features impressive eye tracking, 3D capable cameras, an outer OLED display to show your eyes to others, and motion tracking based on your hands instead of typical controllers we've seen on other headsets. It's definitely the type of device that can elevate the game and design of other companies, and maybe now that Apple is involved, we can see some major developments from third-party support and app content. Google has issued a security warning for all 1.8 billion of its Gmail users. Gmail's checkmark system, which released last month, highlights verified companies and organizations with a blue checkmark, very similar to other social media platforms. The problem is, Gmail's checkmark system is less secure than other platforms, and scammers were able to convince Google that their fake brands are legitimate. After shrugging it off as intended behavior, the company has officially acknowledged the issue, stating they are reopening a case to take a closer look at this vulnerability. As of today, there still hasn't been any fix for Gmail, but users are to remain vigilant when clicking on any links from businesses. Make sure the sender's address is coming from an official account, and if you're worried, it's always better to delete it than have your personal information stolen. Salesforce is bribing its employees to come back to the office. Even though Salesforce has laid off 10% of its workforce just this year alone, the co-CEO, Mark Benioff, stated that having employees work from home has created a loss of culture in the company and that they are working desperately to bring that back. The business has stated that it will donate $10 per day to a local charity if employees come back to work. The company is only offering this from June 12th to the 23rd and are hoping that doing this fundraiser can entice employees to come back to the office. It hopes to raise $2.5 million in that time frame. On Tuesday, Twitch released a slew of new rules which extremely limited streamer sponsorship abilities, as well as prohibited multi-streaming across different platforms. This is a huge concern since sponsorships are a big proponent on how content creators can earn a living while using this platform. Amidst the outcry, Twitch released a statement apologizing for the new rules, saying these guidelines are bad for you and bad for Twitch, and we are removing them immediately. Which they did, but they also put in some new policies into effect at the same time. What is the most likely case is that it was never going to go through with the first round of policies, but rather put in place something in the middle ground to seem more reasonable after those were released. And finally, Reddit users are staging a blackout on June 12th in protest of the API fee I mentioned during my earlier tech tea. Redditors are calling these new fees the API Calypse, since after these new fees, the majority of the third-party tools and applications will just cease to exist, since very few of them have the means to pay $12,000 for only so many API requests. To put it into context, an app like Apollo, which averages about 7 billion API requests a month, would be charged about $1.7 billion for it. The majority of this change isn't because of Hollow or Infinity, but because of the recent implementation of OpenAI. These AI-powered tools were using the once free API to gain access to all of the site's posts and user comments to feed the ChatGPT database. But Reddit is tired of them doing this for free, and so it is trying to charge those AI makers, but in the process, it's also hurting the users of the platform. That's all I have for today. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you back here on Monday for some more tech tea.